I think we're gonna get ready with the workout right away. Right away, meaning getting this timer started. All right, phone out of the pocket. Let's start with that march on the spot. Get those knees moving. Let's get grooving with today. Just because today is a bright sunshiny day, although it's nice and cool out today here, just because of all the rain last night. Pardon any bit of rebalancing, any bit of my my bright white skin reflecting into the camera, going into high knees in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, don't mind the rebalancing if it happens today. I apologize in advance. Get those hips, get those knees moving. Just like any other day, if you feel as though this is not enough, feel free to take it into a jog. Just to make it a little more intensive, get that heart rate going. 3, we're going to go into butt kicks. 3, 2, 1. Get that heel up towards the bum. Good work, good work. In about 15 seconds, we're going to lead into some shuffle squats, where we start from one side, big step over, dip down and around. And I'll show you that in a second as we come up on it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Edge of your space. What you're looking for is big step out. You're going to dip it down and around. Add step, down and around. Get a little bit of bend out of the knees and get that bum closer to the ground. Good work, good work. Keep it up, keep it up. Let's go for another 10 seconds of these, and then we'll hop into our walkouts. Good work, good work. 3, 2, 1. Hopping into the walkouts. We're gonna do 5. Fold from the hips. Whatever ground you can't cover before you start to retouch the ground, bend from the knees. So, fold. Oh, I can't reach the ground. Bend the knees, crawl the hands up. Shoulders and arms, the most important part of this one. So I don't mind if you're not looking for the stretch, or the stretch is too intensive on the backs of the legs. Arms the most important part here. So fold over. Whatever ground you can't make up with the back, with the hips, make up with the knees. Good work. There's 2. Going for 5 again, remember. Well, it's more so for me to remember, considering my poor counting skills while it's working out. Good work. Keep marching those hands. And we're going to go for one more. All right, lastly, we're going to do some jumping jacks before we get started with the workout today. So, feet together, arms together, let's go. 3, 2, 1. Get that heart rate up. Jumping jacks, less so for the joints, more so for the explosive motion and getting that heart rate up. If the jumping is too much for you, stay down on the ground, doing one leg at a time, just reaching out, getting those arms moving. Good work, get work. Get work, get working. Keep it up. Let's see if we can go for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. All right. Same thing as usual kind of format. We're going to do 4 exercises this time. We're going to start with the legs, and we're going to hopefully work up the body. We're going to do what I'm going to call a golfer squat. So what we're looking for, we're going to go wide with the feet, as if you're going to do a little wider than a golfer would, though. What we're going to try and do is stay at the bottom position, and every time we come up, we're going to shift our hips and rotate our hips toward the leg that's moving. So, say this is the leg I'm going towards. I'm down here. I'm going to up and twist. You can see how the back foot pins up. I'm moving my hips towards this leg, and then I'm coming back down to center, alternating sides. It's all in the hips. The more that you twist from the hips, the better this exercise is. The more you twist the back, the more it's going to it might start to stretch or strain your back, just in case you haven't had that load on in a while. So move from the hips. What I tend to do is as far as this hip can go, that's as far as I need to go. So push, push, push. Come back down. Other side. Push, push, push. All right. Let's head in 3, 2, 1. Start low, drive up. Start low, drive up. Get those hips moving. The lower half of you and every golf swing you're gonna make, it's gonna look great. Good work, good work. What we're trying to do is we're gonna control the leg that we're moving to, but the back leg does get to pinch and toe up. You can actually see that I go up on my toe every single time just to give myself a little more range of motion so I can drive my hip up and through. Good work, good work. Keep it up. Let's go for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. Shake off the legs. We're going to do some back and forth motion with some lunge and drive. So what it's going to be alternating sides. Back step, drive the knee up. Back step with the other leg, whoops, today's the end, and drive the knee up. Control for the depth. That's where your difficulty is going to come from. What we're looking for is a nice even pace between legs. Don't go blazing speed on the first round. Feel free to do that in the following rounds if you like to. Control for speed, control for depth. 3, 2, 1. Back step, drive through. Back step, drive through. Unlike me, you're not going to forget to alternate legs. We're going to keep going, keep going. Good work. Remember, get that knee up in that front position, not only for the balance of that bottom leg, but also so we can move the hip in its full range of motion through every backwards lunge. Good work, good work. Keep it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into the ground, What we're going to do is come into a bridge position. So what I like to do, especially because I have a mat, keep my heels just far enough from my bum, just so I can reach my heels. You can see how I agree with me. If they were out here, I couldn't reach them. From there, what we're going to try and do is we're going to push our heels into the ground. I want you to try and keep the toes up a little bit. You can just pin the toes up if you'd like to. If you have the strength for it, drive those heels right into the ground and pick the toes up. And from this position, what we're going to do is we're going to do half range of motion. So we go all the way up, but we come halfway down. All the way up, halfway down. That way we're constantly off the ground. We're going to constantly work in the hamstrings and the glutes. If you want to be more difficult out of this position, what you can do is you can either move your feet out into a longer position. It'll shorten the range of motion from here, but the hamstrings will need a lot more strength to push you in this direction. And the second one you can do is lifting one leg up in the air. Sticking with driving the heels into the ground as a first cue. I want you to try and do that for the first round. If you'd like to do more of the next, feel free to. Hopping in 3, 2, 1. All the way up, halfway down. All the way up, halfway down. Keep it up. Short range of motion. What I'm going to try and control for, besides those heels, getting that hip up, up, up. Good work, good work. Never bring your bum back down to the ground. You can see how I can always play with my hands right underneath my hips here. That's what I want you to keep. I want you to keep that space going simply because we want the hamstrings constantly working. Same thing with the glutes. Great work, great work. All right, let's get another 10 seconds out of this. Keep it up. Almost 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good work. We're gonna hop right into some core. A lot of legs today. Woo. And we will feel that probably by the end of today. So going into some fan favorites, or at least my favorite, going for some toe reaches. What we're looking for again, always expose the logo off your chest. So feet are going to determine your difficulty, the higher they are, whatnot. So all the way up, hardest, all the way down, easiest. From here, it's reach for a point on the ceiling or reach for your toes, 1 to 2, expose the logo onto the chest to me, and then rinse and repeat with the other side where you're now exposing your back or the logo to me. Thank you. All right, let's hop in 3, 2, 1, reach and go. Reach and go. One thing I always like to do, just keeps me moving on top of it, keeps me cueing myself, is always bring my hands down, back down to a return position, whether it be on my head, on my chest, or anything like that. It helps me think about what muscles I'm using in or per side. So I brought it down to the return position. I squeeze across the body to reach for the sky, and I repeat on the other side. Good work, good work. Remember, the height of your feet, so whether they're straight up in the air, or height of legs, I guess, but straight up in the air or down on the ground is going to determine your difficulty. 3, 2, 1, done. Good work, good work. All right, shake the legs off, shake the belly off if you can. We're hopping back into the first exercise. Take your time on break. I'm more so just going to go through another quick explanation on it. Very much like the lunges, just because I didn't say this last time, the depth of the middle portion, the squat here, is going to determine your difficulty. So if you stand up perfectly straight and just twist side to side, that'll get some hip motion going. It'll be the least pressuring towards the knees as well as we come down the body, so it'll be the least amount of work. But the closer you get to the ground, if I start to go down here and then come up all the way to the side, that's the most amount of work that I can do because I'm traveling all the way down here and then traveling all the way back up to here. Same thing on the other side. So, middle position, down, up, turn those hips, 3, 2, 1, go, down, turn the hips, down, turn from the hips. Good work, good work. Some of you, it might be even a stretch to do these positions. For my hips, and I don't have to worry about where my arms are. Good work, good work. Done. Alternate lunges, please, and thank you. Remember, speed and height or depth of the lunges is going to determine the difficulty at this point. What we want to do is back step, drive forward. Gets the hip in its entire range of motion all the way back here, all the way up here, and it gets all the power out of our quads. See, squeeze, 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 push, 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 and then lift, lift, lift. Good. All right. Shake up the legs, shake up the legs. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Back step. Drive through. Back step. Drive through. Keep it up. You got it, you got it. Keep it up, keep it up. Almost 10 seconds. You got it, you got it. 3, 2, 1. All right, heading onto the ground. I'm just gonna shake off my legs for a quick second. All right. Get into those glute lifts or those bridges, however you want to call them. Starting position, hands are just far enough away where I can tickle my ankles. If you want it to be harder, move them away or move one leg off the ground. And what we're looking for is drive the heels into the ground, lift the bum up all the way, and only go halfway back down. Space is always underneath the body. You can see how I can grab my hands together. I don't know if you, there you go, there you go. All right, hopping in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Drive. Plant it back down. Drive. Good work. We're only going halfway. Remember that. Sorry for saying plant, I guess. Maybe I shouldn't say plant because that's going to involve the earth. That's going to involve putting your bum right down. I want you to only go halfway. At least enough space has to be underneath your bum the entire time for my hands to fit. Good work. Good work. Speaking of hands, they can be wherever you'd like to. If you want support, sometimes I find putting them onto your side is really nice. I like to leave them either onto my chest or onto my hips. That way I can push down on my hips and get them moving in the right sort of motion that I want them to, on top of which I get to feel the muscles across the hip to actually see which muscles I'm working here. All right, let's go, let's go. Give it 10 more seconds. You got it, you got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back down. Just shake the leg out for a second. Hamstrings are tightening up on me. Go loosen them up again. All right. Toe reaches on the ground. Easiest up in the air. Your hardest variance in between. Pick your choice. Have your own challenge. It seems as though the burns on the back of my leg from my dog walking the dogs is still there and it stings. But still, going for toe reaches. 3, 2, 1. Reach for the sky. Reach for those toes. Good work. Good work. Expose that logo to me. Lift that shoulder up and off the ground. The more you twist and the more you try to bring essentially your shoulder to the opposite leg, the better. Good work. Because we want to squeeze across the stomach, picking up that shoulder up and off the ground. Essentially using our obliques, which attach from the hip up to the rib. We want that rib pulling down. Good work, good work. Yeah, I guess I'll explain myself a little bit, considering the backs of my legs are stinging. My mom and I walked the dogs the other day, and my mom has her dog on the retractable, and she decided to tie my legs up and just run around me as fast as he could, and I have a nice little rope burn on the back of my legs. 3, 2, 1. Good work. A little bit of a stingy bit, but what can you do? Life is life. Dogs are dogs. All right. Last break. I'm just still shaking off, Actually, I'm gonna grab some water too. Just a quick swig. All right. Let us proceed with the last round. Going into those golfer squats. Remember, the height of this is going to determine your difficulty. So if you start lower, it's more work. You start higher, it's less work, but it's still going to be going over the hips, getting that good stretch, on top of which getting you up onto your toe. Back toe, front foot stays down. Just for a quick explanation of myself. All right, let's get going. In 3, 2, 1. Get as low as you can, drive. Get as low as you can, drive. Turn those hips. It's a good core exercise too, because essentially you're trying to not only try to push with that leg up into that top position, turning the hips, but your core is trying to pull your hip this way. It's trying to lift it up and really elongate from the shoulder, the opposite shoulder, down towards that toe. Good work, good work. Keep it up, keep it up. You got it, you got it. Great job, great job. 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job. Going into those alternate lunges, I'll face the other way this time. So you having the sun on my back might feel a little bit different, or at least having the camera on my left side. How we focus on turning my neck the other way for a little bit. All right, alternating lunges. Shake those legs. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. drive up, back step, drive up. Good work. Get those legs moving. Get the full range of motion out of the hip. Good work, good work. Keep it up, keep it up. Let's go, let's go. Quiet for the last round. Gotta focus in. You have it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squeeze one extra in. Good. Shake off the legs. All right. Stingy, stingy. Onto the ground. If you haven't been trying other variations, just to challenge yourself, feel free to. Remember, you can either move the legs out or raise one up. Always try to drive the heel into the ground, lifting that bum up out and off the ground. Small motion with the hips. Let's get it going in 3, 2, 1. Raise it up, all the way up, halfway down. Raise it all the way up, halfway down. Good work, good work. Highly suggest feeling out those hips if you get the chance to. Feel which muscles are working. Are you working more so into the glutes? Are you working more so into the hamstrings? Hamstrings are usually going to be dominant for me. But take it as you will. Feel what you're using. It's fun to know what's inside that body of yours and how strong you are. Good work, good work. Almost. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right. Get those hamstrings relaxed for me. I'm going to put those feet a little higher this time. We're going to go in with the toe reaches in 3, 2, 1. Expose that logo to me. Expose that logo. Good work, good work. Get it moving, get it moving. Great work, great work. Last exercise in the circuit on the last round. Keep it up. Get that core moving. Great job, great job. All right, all right. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. With the time that we have left, I'm going to get us to do one upper body exercise. It's going to be some push-ups. We're going to do 2 sets, just 2. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to do some stretching. See what time we have left after the push-ups. But get yourself ready, get yourself organized. I know push-ups aren't the favorite of everybody's, but psych yourself up. You're going to do a push-up. When it comes to doing push-ups, feel free to do it from whatever position you're most comfortable with, and then you feel like you can do the most out of. Consider we're doing 2 sets. We're trying to do 10. If you can do more in the same time that I can do 10, feel free to. If you can do less in the same time as I can and they do 10, feel free to. Doing it from the wall, doing it from a ledge, bench, couch, chair, any variation between. The idea is getting your body closer to level, closer to the ground. Go down to your knees when you're on the floor or up onto your toes when you're on the floor. Feel free to pick any variation that you feel is going to challenge you, but you also feel like you can do enough to feel as though you're satisfied with the amount that you did. So when I'm doing 10, feel free to feel comfortable to do 5. Feel free to be comfortable to do 10. Feel free to be comfortable to do 15 if you can. If you do 15 in the time that I can do 10, phenomenal. Anyways, hop down the position. Whatever position you're going from the wall, from the ledge, from the ground, anywhere in between. Put those hands right underneath your shoulders. Whether you're going up on your toes or down onto your knees, what we're trying to do is keep those hands in line with the shoulders or below. The idea is trying to keep it in line with our chest almost. That's where the most musculature that we're going to be using here. From here, bring your body as close to the ground as possible. I'm going to go for 10. I'm going to count you in. Go whatever number you can. To whatever number you can. 3, 2, 1. There's 1 for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good job. Whether you did 5, 10, or 15, congratulations. First set. Shake those arms off. Give ourselves 30 seconds to come into the next one and be psyched up for this next one. I'll probably be counting slower just because, as per usual, fatigue sets in. I'm going to slow it down a little bit. See if you can match me. If you can't, that is okay. Challenge yourself the way that you would like to be challenged. All right. Take those arms off for 5 seconds. Popping in. 3, 2, 1. Same time if I can do 10. Do whatever you can. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good work. 9, and 10. Great job. 2 sets of push-ups. Fantastic. We'll get a little bit of stretching in before we call it a day on that. Fantastic work. All right. Consider we did a decent amount of upper body, or lower body, I mean. Yeah, we did a decent amount of upper body. We definitely just did that. What I'm going to do, I'm going to back up the camera a little bit more. Stick both your feet out towards me. You can see the nice soles of my shoes there. What we're going to try and do is keeping the legs flat. We're going to try and do fold from the hips, bringing our chest to our knees. What I want you to try to avoid is rolling over. I don't want you to curl at the back. I want you to fold from the hips. If I were a piece of wood or an L shape, I want to bring that L shape closer and closer together, not tucking my head into that piece. Does that make sense? Okay, what we're looking for is down, fold through. We're going to hold this bottom position for about 15 seconds. Whatever's tightest will stretch first. So if your calves are tighter, your hamstrings are tighter, or even your glutes are tighter, whatever's tightest is going to stretch first. It usually starts from the lowest muscle that is tight. For me, it's my calves. I have tight legs in general, but my calves are the tightest right now, and they're really biting onto the backs of my legs. So hop out of this one. That was our first 15 seconds. We're going to do it again. Going into 3, 2, 1. Hop back in. Again, whatever's tightest will stretch first. Try to bring our chest towards our knees. What I find is easiest, as soon as I find a good lengthening, stretching position, grab onto your legs, just to have a little bit of a biting pressure. That way you don't move from that position because I want you to hold it. We're looking for just something like, say, a 3 out of 10 when it comes to these stretches. We don't want to go overboard. Okay, come out of it in 3, 2, 1. Good work. We are going to open up the groin. Considering that we did those golfer squats, we do want to open up the hips as much as we can today. So what I tend to do, clap the feet together, stick the soles together, bring the heels in towards your groin. You can see how much higher my knees get. What we're looking for is to push those knees down towards the ground and level them out. If you need to, if you can't do that with muscles alone, you can use your hands, you can use your elbows, whatever you prefer. I can do it comfortably with just by squeezing from the glutes and squeezing from the hamstrings. But if you can't do that, that's perfectly fine. Use your hands, tuck them down a little bit, just to get a little bit of a bounce stretch out of here. It should be a light stretch across the groin. The groin is nothing to mess around with. All right, 3, 2, 1. We're going to come out of that. We're just going to flap the butterfly wings just a little bit, just to warm up a little bit. We're going to try and go a little bit deeper this time through, if you can. So deep breath in and push down. Again, I can do this with musculature alone, but if you feel as though you want a deeper stretch than this and you're not reaching that 3 out of 10, that 4 out of 10, feel free to use your elbows, use your hands, and push lightly down. Depending on how much upper body strength versus lower body strength, sometimes you might have to push a little bit harder just because lower body is usually stronger. He kind of keeps us around standing every day. But do your best with what you got. 3, 2, 1. Good work. Relax. We're going into our final leg stretch. what we call a pigeon. What you're going to try and do is lay this leg out flat in front of you. If you can't, that's okay. What we can do is just take it from the top position, and I'll show you how to do that. But from our bottom position, what we're looking for is laying out that front leg flat. The back leg goes out as far back as it can go. From this position, the lower I get my chest and my hips, the longer the stretch is going to be. If you can't get down to this position where you're laying your leg across, what you can do is from a kneeling position, play a little bit of a tug of war with your knees. What you're going to do is you're going to push the knee out as far as you can until you feel a little bit of tightness into the hamstrings or a stretch across the inside or outside of your leg. Whatever's tightest will stretch first. And you're going to fight. You're going to fight the hand that is pushing. As soon as you find that stretch, you're going to push into the hand as best you can. For the same time that we would stretch for, relax. Everyone relax. And then we do it again. Going in one more time. I'm going to do the top position. Everyone who's able to do the pigeon stretch, where it's the leg laying down across, kicking the leg back, or in this top position where you're going to push out that leg as far as you can go up. And from there, you're going to fight the hand that's pushing it. I'll show you from the front for the last 2 seconds. See how I'm fighting by pushing this knee into my hand as I'm pushing this leg out. Okay, switching legs. Twice for the other side, and this will be our last stretch. It's our last half of the stretch today. So if you're up in the top position, let that knee fall out, stretch it out. From there, hand, fight. Fight, fight, fight. Push, 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 push. Same thing with the bottom into the pigeon position. Don't mind me constantly shifting positions. It's only just to demonstrate. You can see how my leg comes across my body here. Leg is all the way back here. The closer I get my hips to the ground and my shoulders to the ground, the heavier this stretch becomes, the tighter it becomes. From this position, relax. 3, 2, 1. Last time through. Apologies if this stretch is confusing. It's going to be the most complicated. Let the leg fall out. Push, resist, resist. Pigeoners. Legs flat. Hips come over. Lay down as close to the ground as you can. We are looking for a good stretch out of the glutes. You might find this on the side of your leg into the T-band, which a little bit, it can be very taut for a lot of people simply because it's not usually a very relaxed muscle and it's not a very utilized muscle. Good work. 3, 2, 1, and done. Complicated stretch at the end. Thank you for managing through that. Thank you for coming, Lisa.
Thanks. Have a good week.
Pardon?
Have a good week.
You too. Have a good week. Have a good long weekend if I don't see you then, Lisa.
Okay, thanks.
Goodbye.